Hey guys, 'tis the season to be jolly, and of course 'tis the time for the obligatory Christmas themed video. And spoiler alert, you can't get any more Christmassy than a Christmas themed wreath. So let's get started. For this project you will need some yarn in your chosen colours. I have a red, a light green, a slightly muted dark green, and a third green that's in a different hue than the other two. You can of course use any colour combination you choose for your own wreath if you decide to make one of your own. Lastly, you will need an 8-inch 4-round polystyrene ring as well. To be fair, in this instance you can use a larger ring, but I decided to go with a smaller one just because it fits in my photo booth. But of course you can go as large as you want when it comes to the polystyrene wreath. I will also be using some other materials here and there, but I will of course list them in the description box below. To make the cover for the wreath, I began by essentially crocheting a blanket for it. I wanted to use 2 of my green colours for this, so I started off by chaining enough chains that would go around the width of the wreath. When I had that measurement right and the number of chains needed were done, I then continued to crochet in rows, and in my case I alternated the colours every 2 rows. By the way, I used double crochet stitches to help this grow fairly quickly, plus I just wanted to move on to the decorating part as soon as possible. So I just continued switching colours for the first half of the wreath, and then just carried on with the solid green for the remainder of the other half. Once the cover was long enough to fit the whole wreath, I slip stitched the 2 ends together to join them into one continuous ring that covered the entire thing. I then left a long tail and used that to sew the sides closed, fully wrapping around the wreath. With that complete, it was time to move on to the holly leaves. I crocheted a simple holly leaf by chaining some stitches, then using single, half double crochet and double crochet stitches to make up the points on the leaf on one side of the chain. I then repeated this on the other side of the chain for symmetry. After that, I surface crocheted along the middle of the leaf to create the spine. I made a few more of these off camera in the exact same way, and then arranged them around the wreath. I picked the spots I liked best and sewed them on. For the berries, I have this big bag of pom-poms I got a long time ago. You might have seen me use them in my clown video. You know, it's probably going to take me ages to go through this entire bag. But yeah, anyway, I pulled out some red pom-poms and glued them onto the leaves to take the place of the berries. You could of course crochet the berries, but with December being a busy month as it is, well,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Next on my to-do list was to add some Christmas sparkle. But while my Hotfix gem wand was warming up, I added a little wooden bell to the center of my wreath using some invisible thread. I wanted to make it look like it was floating, but for some reason it just kept spinning and spinning. So in the end, I just tightened the thread to keep the green side of the bell showing at all times. For the gems, I had 3 colours on hand, 2 greens and a red. I fixed the gems as randomly as I could, trying to keep an even-ish spread of colours around the wreath for that extra bit of season sparkle. We are actually quite nearly done now, guys. Thanks for staying with me for this long, if you are indeed still watching. Finally, I glued some Christmas trees to the bottom inner section of the wreath as a final touch. So guys, while you watch me finish up my mini Christmas tree forest, and before we get to the reveal, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you decide to make your own crochet Christmas wreath, the decoration possibilities are endless. The trick is to have fun, enjoy yourself, and let out your creativity by just diving into it. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then please like, share, comment, and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to hit that jingle bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, enjoy the beauty shots, Merry Christmas one and all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!